Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. We're here. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. And this time, we're back at Undercaste Studios. That's right. We're going to be doing this every Friday or whatever day I end up landing on, but it'll be once a week. You'll be seeing episodes here from now on. I'm super excited. But before we get on into it, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. With that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Organic herbs and botanicals, skincare and edibles, wellness for body and mind. The Brothers Apothecary, fine teas and remedies. Ronald Records, from indie gems to classic hits, discover the heart of local music. With live shows all the time, up close and personal, and regular releases on their in-house label. Ronald Records, supporting the community, one track at a time. All right, thank y'all so much for watching again. Shout out The Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water, but I don't have a can with me right now. Shout out to them anyways. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
What's going on, guys? I'm JiggyJerms.
Hello.
What up?
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you're from, what you do. Give us that Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
Well, I'm from South Seattle. I've been making hip hop music, I want to say, since 2016. I've been putting stuff out.
Okay.
I've been, working with a lot of the homies, a lot of the close people, just in the circle. And I'm trying to expand and work with some more people. But yeah, I've just been making music for a while, just kind of having fun with it,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I dig that. You're coming up, man, almost a decade.
Shoot, yeah.
And what got you started into music initially?
Honestly, I did this little music internship program thing with one of the homie Trey. We were down there at one of the Rainier community centers. And shout out to JC, because he kind of was running the program and he really got us involved in, being in there every day during the summer and making music and seeing what we could do, and seeing the opportunities that it had. It was a lot of fun, and just having that creative environment to always be in, so
yeah,
just kind of running with it from there, honestly.
Oh yeah. And remind me, how old were you when you did that?
I think 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So kind of those formative years for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And then before that, did you ever play any instruments, or was anybody else in your family musical at all?
Honestly, no, I don't play any instruments either.
That's all right.
I just listen to it. Yeah, I just listen to a lot of music. My parents were always listening to a lot of music. My older sisters were too. So I was just always listening to something,
Yeah, no, I feel that for sure.
Yeah.
And then before we officially get into more of what you're doing in the present day, I do have a couple foundation questions I like to check in with everybody on.
Yeah.
This first one, it's one we ask early, it's one we ask often, and it's definitely a crowd favorite. What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
Paper Trail.
Okay.
From T.I.
Yeah,
I think that's
hell
what
yeah.
it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that album he put out right before he went to jail or something like that. That was the first album I bought with my own money. I remember I got it from the little CD section at Fred Meyer. You know how they have that little electronic section?
Yep.
I snuck in there and I grabbed it, and it had all the dirty words and all that stuff, But they sold it to me anyways, and I went back home and
yeah, they don't care.
I got caught listening to it. My dad's like, "Yo, what is this?" But no, yeah, that was the first album I bought with my own money. Yeah.
Oh yeah, quality album.
Yeah.
And then what was one of the first live shows you ever went to? That was specifically one you wanted to go to.
Probably Larry June. I don't remember what year, but his first show out here is probably the first one that I actually remember going to with my homies and spending my own money at, and actually wanting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what year it was, but it was his first show. He did it at the Crocodile.
Okay. Hell yeah.
It was crazy because my homie Trey, we wear glasses, bro. So he was in there in the mosh pit or whatever, and bro, afterwards he had no glasses. We were looking for him and everything, and there was just one lens on the ground. It was hella funny. But yeah, it was a good time.
Did he just monocle the rest of the show?
Nah, he was just fuck the glasses, man. But yeah, I really wanted to go to that show because Key Nyada was opening for him.
Oh, cool.
That's one of the homies. So I was got to be there to support.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's rad.
Yeah.
And then before we officially get into it, do you have a defining moment where you decided you wanted to take music more seriously?
I think seeing one of my songs hit 1 million streams and just like watching it blow up, like on accident, is probably like what pushed me to keep going.
Okay.
Like, you know, to like keep my head down and just keep at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably like the biggest defined moment that was like more eye opening for me.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big one for sure.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
It's kind of crazy. So I think at the end of 2018, I made this song called Blood Brothers, and Coy, my videographer, he used it for his like reel, like of all his music videos that he shot that year. And he had the song in the background. He uploaded it to YouTube, and some other editor took it off of YouTube and like was using it in all these other clips. And like these clips were getting like 500,000 views on YouTube. And Coy's like, bro, look, like people are using your music. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to drop this. And I'm looking at all these YouTube videos and like all these Fortnite players using my song. And I was like, yo, I got to drop this. So I dropped it. I think like at the beginning of 2019, and it just kind of went up from there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's rad.
Yeah.
That's rad.
Yeah.
But now let's go ahead. Let's get on into you in the present day.
For sure.
We're going to get a super easy one out of the way. How'd you pick the name?
Man, honestly, my first name's Jeremy. So everybody's always called me Germs.
Gotcha.
And then I don't know, we be getting jiggy with it, you know what I'm saying? So that's I just putting them both together.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's you know, I always do this bit where I break down names. It's catchy, it's cool, it's easy to remember, it's easy to spell.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those ones where you don't have to like think too hard about it.
Yeah.
But it's unique. It's not, you know, your SEO is going to be way up.
Yeah.
So it's a cool name overall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then let's talk about your writing process a little bit. We're going to break it up into chunks, but we're going to start right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So when you get inspired, you're ready to make music. What are some of the things you do to get a track started?
Honestly, I just be going through beats. You know, there are a handful of producers that I always work with or that I try to work with. And, you know, like the Sixers, for an example, you know, I can hit him up and I can send him like a song that like kind of is giving me some motivation or, you know, inspired me at that time. And then he can kind of put his own spin on like, you know, a custom beat for me. And then we can, you know, work from there. It's pretty cool, you know, because not a lot of people can like turn over custom beats very fast. But, you know, he can pump out like a good handful in, you know, a couple of hours, and then he can send them right back, and, you know, I can just get to working. But, you know, I be on BeatStars and I be working, you know, with other people just like off of Instagram and stuff like that. So I'm always getting beats sent to me. I'm always just like listening to them and going through them. I think I don't really know like what motivates me until like I hear a good beat though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know exactly what I'm going to write about until I hear the beat, you know? A lot of the times I'll like see something in my head, and then I'll just kind of go from there.
Gotcha. And like when you sit down, do you usually like sit down like looking for like a mood at all, or do you just like whatever beat just hits you at that moment?
Whatever just hits me at that moment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then once you find a beat that you dig and you want to work with, how do you usually go from there? Do you like freestyle? Do you write stuff down? Are you like into the phone? Like, how do you go about getting the words put down?
The phone.
Okay.
The phone. I know it's like, I don't know, a lot of my friends and like some of my mentors are always like, you know, you got to write this down. You got to write this down on paper, you know, just because it like helps. But I honestly find that like, you know, my phone is always with me. Whenever I think of something, I can just jot it down real quick, you know, stick it back in my pocket and go on about my day. So that's why I like doing everything on my phone. But when I first started making music, I was like, oh, I got to write everything down in a notebook, you know, because that's like what you see everybody else doing, you know. But yeah, I just be on my phone really.
Well, back in the day when you had to use like T9, you weren't
as hard.
Those lyrics down as fast as pen and paper.
Yeah, for sure.
Now for sure, phones have gotten a lot quicker, and respectfully, they've gotten a lot bigger.
Yeah,
they've gotten a lot bigger. Like you look at the first iPhone, you weren't writing full lyrics on that thing. It was hard. You had to like sit here and be like,
yeah, afterwards.
But yeah, no, I dig that. And respectfully, there's no right or wrong way to, you know, get the words out. And then once you get a track finished, like putting together, so it doesn't have to be like released per se, but you've gotten it written, you're ready to record it, or you're ready to at least start rehearsing it. How long does it usually take you to feel comfortable enough to perform a track?
I mean, honestly, if as long as I can go through the whole song, you know, in my head or like say it out loud or whatever, like I'm good to go. A lot of the times I would write music like on my lunch break or whatever, or like on my 15-minute breaks. And then I would just come up here after work and then just lay everything out. So like the creative process is pretty fast. I feel like I've just been doing it for so long. Like I just kind of have like my own way of doing things, and it just works out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just since we're here, and I know that you happen to also frequent Undercast.
Yeah.
When did you start coming here?
Geez, I think 2015, 2016.
Okay, so like early.
Really early. Yeah. So going back to that internship that I used to do by JC, I met the homie Krishar there, and Krishar had a friend named Sam, and Sam was really connected with like Anvil and I don't know if you know about OMG, I'm Wiggs. You know Wiggy, Nate? Yeah. Like he be shooting, like he shot a lot of stuff for like Lil Peep. But I really got close with Sam, and then I was kicking it a lot with like Anvil and Wiggy, and you know, they were always hanging out with like, you know, people that were recording here at Undercast. So that's how I got in here like so fast and so early on. And a shout out to Lincoln, because I've been working with him for a long time too, you know. So it's really cool to be able to build a relationship here and then like maintain it and keep it going. Yeah.
Also, it's a super solid studio. Hopefully this episode opened with a little like walk around of it, because I'm trying to make something cool for that. But that's neither here nor there. Now I want to take a moment and talk about your music. So I hopped on Yield Spotify, and you've got a grip of music. Just it goes all the way back to at least it was marked at 2018 on there. But because you said you had started before, I'm sure you weren't putting stuff out the first.
Yeah, not immediately out on Spotify. A lot of my early stuff was on SoundCloud.
Gotcha. Yeah. But I listened to as much as I could. I did not get to get through all of it because there's a good amount of it. But I gotta say, your style is really cool.
It's like, a little different, you know.
It's very unique. It's very like it feels different in a way. And what I appreciate too is that there's still a progression in your music. Like if you go to the beginning and you go to now, there's growth. But like from the beginning, you had it. You had what you were going for. You had this idea, and you had a really good delivery.
Thank you.
Even from then to now. So it's cool to see that kind of the improvement. But you started strong, so you've only gotten stronger. And that's really cool. I did check out your most recent album, Cruisin through Seattle, and legitimately, and I'm not saying this because of the show, genuinely a no skip experience.
That's what's up.
Cover to cover, the beats are super fat, very very West Coast. Very West Coast, and you were dialed. I liked. You had a little bit of a different approach starting it out, and then you kind of come back to more of like what you were doing before, but everything about it was just tight. In my opinion, it's some of your strongest work.
Yeah, me too. Man, I'm really happy that you said that you had like a no skip experience, because like for me, I want to be able to listen to an album or a project like from the start to the end without skipping it. Like for me, it's like more about like an experience, like listening to it. You know what I'm saying? Like Paper Trail, for an example, like I listened to that all the way through, you know, like that was my first CD. And being able to like envision everything that T.I. was trying to portray was really cool. And so like when I started to make music, I realized that I like to listen to things front to back, skip. So like, let's try and do that as well, you know, because that's what I want to hear. At the end of the day, I do make music that I want to hear, you know, so I think that's really cool that you were able to notice that, or that you got that experience per se.
Definitely. Yeah. You nailed it for sure.
Thank you.
You know, the argument of the album experience right now is up in the air in so many directions, but I'm in the same boat as you. I really do enjoy like a curated one where it's like it's meant to be listened to in this order, and if you do, you get something out of it. So you definitely nailed it there.
Thank you.
But out of all the music you have available, I am curious to know what are some of your favorite tracks to perform?
Honestly, so I haven't really performed too many shows. I've only done maybe like 4 or 5. They were like pretty small shows. But if I had to perform anything, I mean, it would definitely be Cruisin through Seattle. It's not like the longest project, but I feel like it'd be a good enough set, you know what I'm saying, where I could just like get everything through and hopefully, you know, have everybody have the same listening experience as you did. But definitely Cruising Through Seattle. I would love to do Blood Brothers, you know, but yeah, that's a fast song, you know, so it's kind of hard to keep up with that. But just Cruising Through Seattle for sure is definitely one that I'm trying to do. I got a project coming out soon, hopefully soon, that I think would also be really dope on stage.
Well, actually, that segues well. The next question is, tell us a little bit about what you got cooking. What can we look forward to as far as style goes? Like, are you changing up? Are you keeping it the same? What, without giving away more than you want to, what can you tell us about what's coming up next?
Honestly, it's like the same vibe as Cruising Through Seattle, but I want to say better. There's a lot more tracks on it. I feel like there's also a little bit more versatility on there as well. I got some features on there.
Okay.
Cruising Through Seattle didn't have any features. I was
gonna say you're not too feature heavy.
Yeah, not too much.
Yeah.
I do have music with people though. Some of it just isn't out. But yeah, that's what, you know, I'm trying to expand. I definitely want to work with, you know, more people. Especially people that I listen to on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, you know, try to start reaching
Wayne, let's do it.
Hopefully Currency.
Oh, shit.
One day.
Yeah, you know, that would be rad.
Currency is definitely a really big inspiration of mine. And has definitely, I would say, definitely inspired this upcoming project that I wrote.
Okay, well, definitely looking forward to that then. That's good. And I think you guys would have a cool sound together, actually.
For sure.
Imagine the two. That would be a really cool combo.
For sure, yeah. I feel like he was my biggest inspiration when I first started making music. I don't know if you listened to my very first project, 20 Car Garage, but it was very Currency heavily inspired,
gotcha.
You know. But I listen to him a lot, you know what I'm saying? I'm super big into cars as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like the music that I make is also influenced, you know, by the car scene and what we're doing up here, what I'm doing to my cars, you know, how we're cruising around through the city. So it's gonna be a really cool project.
Hell yeah. Definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I am curious, have you ever heard anybody listening to your music in their car in the wild?
Man, I can't say I have.
Ah, darn. I would have. If I had a cool one.
If I have, it was one of the homies.
Okay.
I pulled up on him at a red light type shit. But not out in the wild.
Well, y'all pick it up. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But for this next one, I want to zoom out a little bit. I want to look at kind of music as a whole. What are some of the things about either new music, if you're one of those people who's always checking out the new, or at the very least music that's new to you that you just recently started experiencing that you enjoy, or maybe you're finding inspiration in at the moment?
If you know me, I don't really listen to too much mainstream hip hop.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a more underground person, a local person. I listen to Jimmy Waters and Chap D, you know, Larry June, Currency, of course, are definitely some of the bigger names.
Yeah.
Grando, you know, a lot of more you know, Cali kind of vibes, more Cali artists for sure. AJ Snow, you know, Anthony Danza is a huge inspiration of mine up here from Seattle. So that's just kind of what I've been on. I definitely do branch out, you know, here and there, and I do try to keep up with more of the mainstream stuff. You know, I've been listening to Lucky, you know, since forever. You know, since he was going, he used, I don't know if you know, but Lucky used to be rapping. He started rapping with Chance the Rapper.
Oh damn, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah. So to watch him grow into what he's doing now, you know. So I listen to V's and all of them too, you know. And so I feel what I listen to and what I'm inspired by is just such a big variety.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that's important. I think if you get too stuck in one vein of things, then your stuff starts to sound like it.
For sure. Yeah.
It's good. And also there's just so much music.
There's so much music.
It's not worth staying in just one lane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a whole freeway you can go through. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, you can't get stuck in one box.
Yeah.
And you know, as much crap as I give my girl about listening to K-pop, you know, when she's you know, doing stuff in the house, you know, she be slapping it, bro.
Yeah.
And, you know, I be bagging her sometimes, but it's so refreshing for the ears. You know what I'm saying? Just to hear something different. I may not understand what they're saying, you know what I'm saying? But it's just refreshing. I'm always listening to hip hop. I'm always trying to keep up with something or, you know, support one of the homies. It's always, you know, very hip hop based.
Yeah.
It's just nice to hear other things, you know.
No, trust me. That's kind of the refreshing thing about doing this is that I always, I take the time to listen to everybody that's been on the show's music.
Yeah.
And so like whenever it's people in different realms or different experiences, I get to spend that time experiencing music that I would have never come across had I not. So it's really fun to be able to just check out new things all the time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And you've done like 300 interviews? Like,
just
so many different people, so many different artists, that have something different to bring to the table.
Mm-hmm. So my Spotify wrap up this year is going to be wild.
Oh, for sure.
I'm so excited to see what it looks like.
It gets crazier every year.
Huh? Yeah, it definitely will. My recommendations from Spotify never know what to do anymore. They're just like, do you want to listen to this jazz album or this deathcore album, or do you want to listen to some cool hip hop? And I'm like, I guess I'm listening to all of them. Yeah, these are dope.
That's what's up.
Yeah. But getting back into you, before we move on to the next part, this next question's probably the densest question in the interview.
Yeah.
But we talked about, your experience with music, the actions, the reactions. But when it's just you and music one-on-one, what does music give back to you?
Man, I feel like music really gives me a safe space more than anything. I'm able to like write out my feelings, you know what I'm saying? I could like really put my heart out on a song. Like Blood Brothers, for an example. Like the reason why I didn't put that song out was because I felt like I was being really vulnerable and I didn't really know if that's what people wanted. Mm-hmm. But, people also want to listen to stuff that you can relate to. Mm-hmm. So I feel like music for me has really given me a safe space, over the course of time. Yeah. And it's cool to have fun with it, but like at the end of the day, when you're writing stuff down and you can match, like you can match it to a beat and you can capture like this emotion that you're feeling. Mm-hmm. Like that's cool to me, you know, and have other people relate to it as well. That's dope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that, man.
Whether it's like, a song about like you feeling shitty or whatever and like wanting to do better, you know what I'm saying? Or like you having fun with your homies, or like it's cool because whatever you're feeling and whatever you want to capture on that song, like you're able to do. So yeah, music has definitely given me a safe space more than anything.
Oh yeah, I love that.
More than it's like giving back, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like I get like hella royalties or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the music is really bringing back a lot of money or anything, but the opportunities and the networking has been really cool as well, and being able to meet so many new people. Yeah.
A word that I think is lost in just the realm of music creation right now and the things that happen is the experience. The experiences that come from it.
Yeah.
Like that is actually probably like, cause again, doing this, I exist parallel to the world of music. Yeah. But I'm always touching it. And just the rooms that I've gotten to be in, the people I've gotten to sit down with, the experiences I've got to hear about, those are such, every time people talk about the moments that they enjoy and the things that like bring them those kinds of things, they're all experiences. And I think that when you take a moment to look back on the opportunities and things like that, the ones that you enjoy, those experiences, I think, are what really bring so much more to the table. And when you're able to, like you said, put your feelings into your emotion, your vulnerabilities, that is something that the audience gets to connect with.
Yeah.
Your experiences help you bring those out.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
But now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to some hypothetical questions. And for these, sky's the limits. The questions are all made up, so the answers are allowed to be as well.
Okay.
But this first one's pretty straightforward. If you could work with any one person, the only requirement is they have to be alive. Who would you want to work with and how would you want to work with them?
Right now? Currency.
Okay, hell yeah.
Currency, or I would say Larry June.
Yeah.
Larry is definitely a big inspiration. Kind of has taught me that, you can have fun with your music and, still be like motivational at the same time. But definitely Currency, bro. Like the cars, I feel like we could just smoke and talk about cars all day.
Yeah.
I've been working in the cannabis industry for 7 years. So, and before then, we were doing a lot of smoking. So I feel like it would just be really cool to connect with another individual, another artist that I think, we would, share a lot of common interests and, make some good music.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then subsequently, who's a local artist that you're aware of that you haven't gotten to connect with yet, but you would like to?
Well, I do have this song for Anthony Danza. I gotta send him the open. I haven't sent it to him yet. But I mean, like we've chopped it up a few times, we've kicked it a few times. But I gotta send him some stuff, and hopefully he fucks with it, and I can put that on this upcoming project. That's the plan.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but
everybody, you know what to do. Add him in the comments. Let's get him on board.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then for this next one, like I said before, sky's the limits, and it's pretty literal in this sense. But if you could perform anywhere in the world, and you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access or building stability or power, it was guaranteed the best lineup, guaranteed the best show. It doesn't have to be a venue. It could be anywhere. Where would you want to perform?
Oh man, that's crazy. Honestly, here in Seattle.
Okay, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a specific venue?
I mean, I don't know if we had like the biggest venue and like the best spot, I mean, I don't know. I like I said, I haven't really done too many shows, but I would love to put on for Seattle.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then to wrap up the hypothetical questions, if you could get one more album from anybody, they could be alive, they could be dead, they could have not put out an album in 100 years, they could have put out an album yesterday. Who would you want an album from?
Damn. Honestly, ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm not really too sure. Man, honestly, I need a new Larry tape. I need a new Larry project to go cruise around in for sure. Yeah.
Hell yeah. No, I feel that. All right. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. What can we look forward to between, let's say, now and May?
Ooh, now in May. Ooh, new project coming soon. Definitely new project coming soon. I'm going to have some videos coming out. Me and Coy got some stuff in the works. And hopefully some singles along the way as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
For this next one, go ahead and look straight at your camera. Tell everybody how they can find you.
And I'm on all streaming platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, whatever. You can catch me on Instagram at JiggyJerms, YouTube, JiggyJerms. So catch me out there.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on while you're on here?
Man, shout out everybody at Undercast. Shout out to you for the opportunity. Shout out South and Siva. Shout out everybody at Trey Life Music. You know what I'm saying? Shout out everybody in South Seattle, man. We all doing our thing. I really appreciate everybody showing me a lot of love, and being able to have opportunities like this really means a lot.
Yeah, hell yeah. Of course, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. Shout out Coy, man. Wherever you are. Your stanky ass.
All right. And now with that being said, I've got one last question to go.
Yeah.
Before we do, I'm going to steal the camera for just a second. As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water, even though I don't have the cup or the can here. And another shout out to Undercast. Thank you for having us here. And with that being said, the final question. And this is entirely up to your interpretation.
Yeah.
But in all of music, what is an album you feel is more on the obscure side? It's a deep cut. It's one not a lot of people would know, but it's one you think everybody should know.
Man, Expansion Pack by Ellie Dollar. If you a lot of people don't know about Bro.
No.
But for a second he was a Jet Life artist. And he's been doing his own thing ever since. I know he was like rolling around with Bun B like way back in the day. But he's really into BMWs and cars as well. Really good cruising music. Not a lot of people know about him, so yeah, go check that out. Expansion Pack, yeah.
Hell yeah, that's a super solid rec.
Ellie Dollar, yeah. $, Ellie $.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but with that being said, we're going to go and wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And this has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy.
I'm JiggyJerms.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap.
This is not a podcast. This is a show.
Keep jamming.